Hello, hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Grow Wealthy Grooming. Pardon me as I figure out where we are that I need to pause. Every time I think that I have mastered technology reminds me that there's always more to learn. So, hey, Marie, great to see you here live. I apologize for being a little late, you guys. I was trying to get everything situated and technology just did not want to cooperate. That's all good. So let's go ahead and I'm going to turn off that. That way we don't have stuff going on in the background. Let's go ahead and discuss today's topic. I thought this was really advantageous considering what was happening in my group. So I'm going to go ahead and pop open the topic if it will cooperate with me. So we're going to be talking about handling let's negotiate clients, right? We've all had them. Hey, 80, great to see you here. So let's go ahead and discuss this. This was posted in my group, my free private group. And if you guys have not yet joined, please consider doing that. I will pop really quickly if I can. So you can go right to, and it's funny because I'm so used to doing this not live that I'm feeling like I'm lagging a little bit. You can join my group. Go to facebook.com/group/Savvy Groomer, Savvy Prep Professionals. Here you can see all of our questions. I spend the most time in my own group. I need to spend more time in my group, but that's where I go to first thing in the morning and the last thing at night and just kind of read through what's going on in my group and try to support everyone the best that I can. On a lighter note, I hope everyone had an awesome Easter. I know I did. And if this is the first time you're joining us here for, Grow Wealthy Grooming, I want to welcome you. My name is River Lee. I'm the founder of the Savvy Groomer, where we teach you to go from being broke, and broken to healthy, wealthy, and happy. So we want you guys to build a grooming business that you love. So this was what was posted in one of my groups, and I hope it's okay I won't name the person, but I thought kind of breaking this down would be really helpful. So need help responding to a client, raised prices on everyone's. Individuals were informed that their costs were going up significantly. One client who is someone at graduate high school has a doodle. Of course, it's a doodle. Why is it always a doodle? I went up from 120 to 140. His response in the email was, wow, that's a lot. First of all, $20 on a $120 bill, that's not a lot. That is 2 cocktails. That is 2 high-end beers, right? I'm sorry, I spent $7 this morning on my Starbucks latte. $20 is not a lot of money. And if $20 is a lot of money to you for your dog to get groomed, that's a red flag. That's a lot. Can we talk about this? To which I responded a little bit more explanation, but no apologies because I know him personally with what is included, how prices are based on X, Y, Z, etc. I addressed everything and still managed to get another response of, I would love the chance to get coffee with you and discuss this further. It's getting tough to live in a world where everyone raises prices. Most of our money goes to my wife's medical bills. Now I'm mad and honestly a little upset. I want to be clear in my response without apologizing, explaining too much because my price is non-negotiable. But knowing him personally, so he wants to help. So my heart really goes out to this person. That's why I'm literally doing this live because I think it's really important. If you guys know Tiffany, one of my coaching clients, we did a very similar live where we talked to her. And I can always post that later. You guys can go through my YouTube. We did a post about, she had a client that was playing poor mouth and was saying, oh, I'm so poor. I'm so poor. Well, the lady ended up going to another groomer and paying more. So first things first, I will say that one thing I have learned is to be very, very careful having clients that are friends and family. because it does kind of blur the line. And if you are doing that, you have to put on your hat. So I always, I do coaching with friends and with actually my mother. I coach her for her business. And I will actually have to say, okay, I need to put on my coach hat. And it sounds really corny, but it's really, really important because you need to separate that. Or if I have conversations with one of my friends that I'm one of their coaches for, I will say, are you asking friend River or are you asking coach River? Because if they're complaining about a situation at work, I need to know who they're talking to. If I don't know who they're talking to, whether it's River, their coach, or River, their friend, I'm going to give a different response. River, their coach, is going to break things down, strategize, help them, where River, their friend, is going to be like, yeah, fuck that bitch, right? So we're going to answer different ways. So first things first, to this person, I would say to them, please make sure that you are really analyzing is, in this moment, are they client or are they, are they being a client right now or are they being your friend? And that's really, really important. Just move this here so you guys can see it, right? So everyone got their price raised and it only went up, $20, which, I'm going to really quickly, I think that's 20%, but I'm going to triple check right now. All right, so let me just take that right now. Yeah, so it's a little less than 20%. So it's not a ton of money. So the second he says, wow, that's a lot. That is a key thing you need to pay attention to. I want you to imagine, now in person, this is a very different response than choosing to write this, especially in email format. I want you to imagine when you would ever say that to someone for any amount of money. If you had a friend who's a photographer, I have a very good friend who's a photographer. I personally think her prices are outrageous. Why? Because I don't personally value photography. I just don't. I wish I did. I just don't. So when I found out she charges like $800 for headshots, $800 to $1,200 for headshots, my initial reaction was like, holy shit, that's a lot of money. But I would never in a zillion years write that in an email or even a text message. And if you guys know me, I tend to put my foot in my mouth. Like that is definitely a very River thing to do, is like open mouth, insert foot. But I didn't do that. If I don't do that, this person made a conscious decision to write, wow, that's a lot. So immediately to me, either A, you're not as good of friends as you think you are. Because if I love and honor my friend, I don't downplay what they do. Even if I don't value it, I never tell them that they're not worth. Imagine having a friend who's an attorney and they tell you they charge $400 an hour. You would never say, wow, that's a lot. You're implying that they're not worth it, right? It's a very rude thing to say. Now, if you're in person, it can happen accidentally. Like I don't take it personally if they say it out loud. So whenever you hear, wow, that's a lot, or wow, that's expensive, immediately ask yourself, am I asking a lot? No, it went up $20. It went less than 20%. We literally had 7% inflation. That's not a lot of money. And you were probably undercharging for that doodle anyway. So I right there would have just written, no, it's not a lot, and just responded that way. And then just left it and allowed them to respond. When you go into the explanation, you're really just harming yourself, unfortunately. What's happening there is that you are stopping this person. You're enabling this person versus stopping this behavior, right? It's kind of like your kid, right? I don't know if you guys have human children. I have one human child. He's 10. Oh God, he just turned 11. I feel so old. There are things that kids say that we just have to stop them in their tracks, right? And this is a line of words that I'm not going to allow to happen. Wow, that's a lot. No, I'm going to shut that shit down. No, it is not a lot of money. and don't say anything more. And then the fact that they ask, can we talk about this? I want you to think about why someone would say that to their friend. Again, I personally don't value headshots, photography. My friend does amazing, outlandishly amazing headshots. Very, very, very amazing. I don't value them enough for $800. I would never talk to her. I would never put her in a position to have a cup of coffee and convince her to charge less than what she charges anyone else because she's my friend. Now, if she's someone I don't like, I still wouldn't do that because that's my value system of not asking for a discount. And again, if we had just sent back, no, it's not expensive, or actually it's a fair price, they still could have come back, right? They still could have come back with, well, can we talk about this? But I want you to, stop immediately going into defense mode, because that's our plan, right? We're going to convince them through logic that this is what's going to happen. And somebody who writes that is not a solutions-based conversation. That is somebody who just wants to bully you, use emotional tactics to bully you into charging less. And I'm really proud of you for not giving any apologies. But you did, when you fall into the explanation trap, it gets really painful because, again, there's no amount of explaining that would make me go, oh yeah, I see now that I should pay $800 for headshots. There's no amount of explaining. I don't care your camera costs $10,000. That was your choice to buy a $10,000 camera, right? And just the same way, if we explain why it costs so much, they don't get it. Hey, Candace, great to see you. And Coral says, I understand if I'm no longer in your budget. Well, I'm going to get to that, Coral. So she explains everything. And then it was, I would love the chance to get coffee with you and discuss this further. It's getting tough to live in a world where everyone raised prices. Most of our money goes into my wife's medical bills. And then exactly, Coral. I understand if I'm no longer in your budget. I would love to get coffee with you sometime. However, discussing business, I don't think is appropriate. It gets really messy to mix together business and pleasure. And you have to make things really clear. And like I said, I do this all the time. You can ask any of my friends. I will say, wait, are we talking a Coach River or Friend River? Or I have to set a boundary where I have a really fun local group that I'm in. We just talk and we go out for dinners and we just talk groomer shit. It's great. And I'm pretty willing to discuss coaching stuff, but sometimes I'm like, I really want to help you, but that's definitely more of a coaching question because that's what I do for a living. It's kind of like your friend asking if you can go clip their dog's nails. It gets kind of in a gray area. So this is a great opportunity to go ahead and, start setting boundaries and practicing them. I think that this is a really unfair response. Now, I didn't actually see your letter, and sometimes our letters, if they're not a little personal and a little emotional, like I have basically what I consider a really perfect letter that I've used as a template in the Price Increase Masterclass. And we want to be honest. We want to see the support. We want it structured in a way that, we're explaining like, this is it. Like, this is what's going to happen. There is no negotiation in both an emotional and a logical way, because this person, is saying that all their money goes to their wife medical bills. Another option for you could be, I totally understand. What we can do is we can shave fluffy from head to toe and a 10 blade, nice and bald. And then you can come in every 6 months. But that's not what you want either. There are so many other cheap groomers, because it's not like I can't afford grooming at all. It's I can't afford grooming from you. Again, getting a doodle is a high maintenance breed. I don't feel bad. I always use the example of I had a cat grooming client that lived in a very high-end area. And I mean, very high-end, gated community. There's not gated communities in Rhode Island for the most part. A huge house. She had a 4,000 square foot house. She had a ragdoll cat that was neurotic. He was aggressive. And I charged her 100 at the time. If you stayed on a 4-week schedule, I didn't charge extra for aggression. Because if he was groomed every 4 weeks, he wasn't great, but he wasn't awful. And I charged $145 a month. And I will never forget, the husband came out. No, the wife told me that the husband had come out and I was ignoring him because I was him grooming a cat and he's trying to talk to me. And I'm like, listen, I can't have the door open. Like, I got to groom. We can talk after. So the wife said, well, my husband wants a discount. And my response is always, why? And her response was, well, we just can't afford it. And I said, absolutely not a problem. I can give you the list of other groomers. She's like, well, just because we have a 4,000 square foot house doesn't mean we have a lot of money. And I said, that's okay. She's like, we spent a lot of money in electricity. I said, I get that. At the time I had a house with, an in-law apartment. So I was spending about $600 a month in electricity. So I said to them, I get that. That's not a problem. And what I didn't do was defend my position. I just said, I understand. That's okay. Because when we we can't make it a power struggle, right? That's not what's going to happen here. I understand if you can't afford this. Well, I can't afford it. I just don't want to, is really what they're saying. And that's okay too. Not a problem. If you don't want to spend your money on this, there are lots of other groomers, and let them go. Again, my friend, the photographer, if she does photos for me and I don't pay her prices, it's not going to make her feel good. I don't expect my friend to do that. So when you have this negotiating client, you have to, and it's so hard because I know most of us have these, like I have these super deep childhood wounds around being enough and feeling important and wanting to be special and enough, right? And in this moment, when I see this, my little heart goes, why don't you think I'm worth all this money? Why don't you think I'm important enough? Why am I not enough? Why is this $20? Go deal with $20 from somewhere else, right? The coffee to discuss a business matter, I think, is a really unhealthy choice. And again, I want you to think about this too. That coffee, if it's just literally a black coffee, is still going to be $3 to $5, which is about a fourth of the price you're asking to go up. It's tough to live in a world where everyone raises prices. Well, prices need to be raised every year. But I'm sure he's not asking the person at the gas station to sit down and have a cup of coffee and talk about the fact that gas went from $3 to $5. I'm pretty sure he's not having a conversation with the cashier at Whole Foods to buy the gallon of milk, especially if they drink almond milk or oat milk. I don't know about you guys, but I drink either coconut or oat milk, and that's gone up $1. Like that went up 25%. I was paying $3 to $4 for a little thing of oat milk, and now it's like $4 or $5. I'm not asking the cashier to sit down and have a conversation with me. I'm pretty sure he's not asking anyone but you to sit down and have a conversation. One, it's inappropriate and it shows a real lack of respect, right? Because is he sitting down with his doctors? Is he saying to the doctor, all of my money is going to you guys? you really need to charge less for these medical, and I don't know if she's having chemotherapy or physical therapy. That's where he could probably save some money. And again, I actually, for a long time haven't had insurance, and I talked to my chiropractor and they said, listen, I want to do a lump sum cash. What's the best deal you can give me? I don't want to screw you, but if I buy 24 visits, because I go about every 2 weeks or so, if I buy 24 visits in cash, one lump sum, expires in a year, what deal can we work out? And we did end up working out a deal. Now he said, don't worry about them expiring because I want to make a deal. That's very different than just if my chiropractor went up $10 or $20 per visit, than me saying, oh, that's not fair. Well, the fact that gas is $5 isn't fair. It's not fair that my car, which is nothing special, the 2019 Equinox, is worth $10,000. It's worth 50% more than it should. That's not fair. It's not fair that everything's going up, but that's just life. Life isn't fair. And you need to have things go up because everything else is going up. And most groomers have not had a price increase across the board in a very long time. Most of our prices were kind of picked out of thin air. They were not chosen strategically. So, and it is hard when you get mad and upset because this person is inappropriate. It's completely inappropriate. And it hurts when somebody completely pushes past your boundaries and they treat you like you're nothing. It's just one of those things. So that would be my suggestion for you, person in this group, is to really, first of all, take into account, why am I upset? Do your own inner work. I know, I'm now that woo-woo person. I didn't mean to become guys. I've just done a lot of self-healing. And I find that it's funny. I find that when people upset me, it's like, oh, cool. Then I can figure out where I have these issues that I have to work on. And I think most groomers have issues. None of us are perfect. And for me, it's allowed me to figure out stuff in my personal life. You don't have to do that, but I suggest you try. It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun to go, oh, this upsets me because I feel like he's saying I'm not enough, or this upsets me because whatever it is. Coral's saying, when you work with a compassionate field, people will try to take advantage of that, unfortunately. Absolutely. I think good, bad, or indifferent, being a woman, people will want to take advantage of you. And also the fact that we are here for the pets, right? Even if you want to make a living wage, people assume that you should do that. Hey, Erin, don't worry. We're almost done, so you can watch the recording. And Candace, I'm not sure if I said hi to you, but hey, girl. So I just want to let you guys kind of stew in that. So first of all, when you get triggered, and I hate the word triggered because it's got such a weird connotation, but if you are in a position where you get upset, always think to yourself, okay, why am I upset? Then say to this person, okay, is this a lack of their boundaries, or is this a me problem? Right. And for me, I used to get super triggered. You can ask the people that have known me for 5-10 years. I used to get really pissed off. So this person, I would have wanted to shut down, tell them why they're wrong, tell them why I'm good enough, da, 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 da. But when you feel like you're enough, and it's really corny to say that, and I feel it's so weird. I would have hated me 5 years ago, but it really does make a difference when you're I don't need to prove to this person, right? And you don't, to the person that's here. I don't want to, I want to protect their privacy, but, you are more than enough. You are an amazing groomer. You don't need this dog. And it's always doodle owners. If it's not a doodle owner, it's a Cocker Spaniel owner or a Wheaton owner. It's they just pick dogs and they want to take people down a peg. So again, For those of you guys that are just watching, when someone says, wow, that's a lot, wow, that's expensive, don't engage in that. Exactly. So I want you to remind yourself, if someone says that to me, completely inappropriate, but you guys know that I am so un-PC. That always reminds me of when people say things like crazy things like, I don't know if you guys have ever heard someone like blatantly say like someone's racist when they're not racist. And you're like, I'm not racist. Like there was a, like someone will be like, oh, that's this. And you're like, wait, no, it's not. And you explain, and it's so interesting to me why, like, you can't just let things like that go because they're not true, right? If somebody were to say something to me and they're saying, oh, that's sexist, I can either say, yes, this is sexist, or no, this is not sexist, right? You want to make sure that if someone is saying something that is atrocious, that you stop them in their tracks and you do not continue with that line. It's not appropriate. It is not appropriate. Do not let someone walk you down the line of questioning of that's expensive or wow, that's because they're trying to say something that is completely inappropriate. And that at its core is that you are being overpaid. And to me, I find that very sexist because I'm in a female-based industry and the women that I know work very, very hard. And I don't see people saying that to very many male-dominated professions. I'm sure when he goes to whatever medical appointments with his wife, I doubt he says to any male physical therapy or radiologists or doctors, wow, that's expensive. Right. And again, I don't want to be here, the sexist police. I think I'm very grateful to live in a world where women and men are basically even, but I'm getting really tired doing this price increase masterclass. I'm finding a huge differential when good, bad, or indifferent, when women put in their letter, them and their husband, even if their husband has nothing to do with their business, if they put them and their husband have made this decision final, significantly less backlash. And that's a whole nother conversation. And I will tell you, as someone who legally changed a name from a very female name to a unisex name, I did not realize how sexist emails were and correspondence until I legally changed my name, because people treat me so different online if they don't see my profile picture. That's a whole nother conversation for another day. Candace is saying, why do you think this guy wants to get coffee? Exactly. He wants to have coffee in order to bully you, right? It's inappropriate. I'd love to get coffee. As friends, I'd love to have coffee, but I think talking business is inappropriate. I mean, think about this. On the flip side, if my friend said to me, okay, headshots are $800 for that, and I say, wow, that's expensive, let's talk about this over coffee. That's not a good friend. And if they're not a good friend, don't even entertain it. Coral saying the difference between being scared to lose all your clients and being comfortable with knowing that not every client needs to be your client. The coffee is probably because it's easier to manipulate someone in person when they don't have the opportunity to sit and think before answering. I think it's just a very unfortunate tactic. I don't like it. I don't like when people try to manipulate people. It really upsets me. There's a difference between guiding behavior. And again, that's why we use pricing to guide behavior. It's another thing to try to bully and manipulate people. I will never, ever, ever tell you guys to bully and manipulate people. If someone can't afford grooming, I'm not going to make them feel bad and pay my grooming prices. If they don't want to do this, I don't say push them. I will say use pricing to get the behavior you want. Absolutely. Because ultimately it's your business. And if they're not going to do what you want, charge more. So you're basically getting added money for what you're doing, what you don't want to do. Aaron said, I saw that post and it irritated me. He wanted to intimidate her into lowering her price. Absolutely. So, I do need to end because I have to hop into my business boot camp is live. So I will be hopping in there. But I just wanted to, support this student. And, I actually would love to do this. If you guys like this kind of video, I'd love to cherry pick some posts and do that each week live and really start supporting you guys. I've been doing these almost like mini coaching sessions. And again, I think that this is super helpful because this is real life and this person's not doing anything wrong. These are all natural responses. It's a very natural response to want to defend yourself against somebody who is being impolite. And it's very natural to have empathy for somebody who's going through a lot. And I do feel bad that their wife is having a lot of health problems. But, a dog is a luxury. You bought a Ferrari. A doodle is a fucking Ferrari. It is the highest maintenance breed that you can possibly get. Now, unless you get lucky and you get certain coat types. And there is an option, shave it. I mean, if this person was like, listen, I need you to strip my dog bald because I can't afford to come more than twice a year. And then you want to give them a discount, that's up to you. I mean, I'll be honest. If someone said to me that was a very loyal client, my wife's in and out of the hospital, between time and money, I just don't have the resources. Can we please just shave Fluffy down and I'll come in less often and I'll do my best. It's a very different person, very, very different person than what's happening here. Okay. So I'm going to let you guys go. I really honor and appreciate that you guys were here with me. And I hope this was insightful, guys. So today's topic was handling those let's negotiate clients. Again, definitely one of my least favorite people. They're just, I don't want to say they're just awful. It's not fair, but they're just the kind of people that they don't respect. And I have no patience for someone who doesn't respect the people that I work with. Coral says, charity at your discretion is not the client's. Absolutely. And again, you guys are not running nonprofits. You're not running rescues. Please be careful with who you give charity to. People get addicted to discounts. And if you guys are interested in learning more about how to increase your prices, you guys can always go to my Price Increase Masterclass. It is self-study. We will be launching in May a live option. We're probably going to be doing live once or twice a year. And you can go to savvygroomer.com/price increase masterclass, PIMC, I should say, in order to enroll in the self-study. There's lots of options. Again, it's about picking a number out of thin air is not a strategy. No more winging it, guys. We want to start going through all of this. Now, if you are interested in actually going to the live, you can always message me or post below on YouTube or message me on Facebook, message Savvy Groomer page for Facebook. And we can always get you guys involved and ready for the live. And that will be going on sale in the next week or so. So your option is have a self-study. If you're looking to get this done ASAP, do the self-study. If you do a pay in full, you can get it all at once and you can actually start getting all of this done. There's a lot of resources in the self-study. And there's two options, of course, in the self-study. You either have your pay all at once, $5.99, includes all of the recordings, or our Price Increase Masterclass Plus, which includes 3 one-on-one coaching calls. So that is 3 one-on-one hours. Just, an one-on-one hour. It's $400 USD. So you're actually saving money buying the masterclass versus just buying those 3 hours of coaching. And then there are payment plans. Payment plans are more money. Why? Because I'd rather just have my money now. So if you're going to make me wait for my money, it's going to cost you more money. And payment plan classes are direct. So I would really suggest you do that. If you're interested in doing the live, like I said, we will have that out shortly. Yeah. All right, guys. So it was so awesome having you guys here live. I'm kind of liking the Zoom. I like that it's a lot easier for me to jump between the things. I just am not quite sure how to work everything, but we're working on it. So, and again, if you guys like this topic idea where I'm going through the group and we're picking posts, I am more than happy to do that. I really like supporting you guys and helping you guys. And if that's helpful, then I'm more than happy to do that. All right, guys. So as always, happy grooming.